Hello, my name is Elkrief, and in this video I'd like to talk to you about what your feelings mean. And the answer is nothing. Your feelings don't mean anything, okay? Your feelings don't mean anything. So let me tell you why I'm saying that, okay? So many people come to me and they tell me I feel unworthy. I know I'm unworthy. I feel so unworthy. How could you feel unworthy? There's no such thing. You have a sensation in your stomach, or in your chest, or in your head, and then you say, this feeling means I'm unworthy. No, it doesn't. It's like having a cut on your finger and saying this cut means I'm unworthy, or having a bruise and saying this bruise means I'm unworthy. No sensation in your body means anything, or having a stomach ache and saying this means I'm unworthy. No feeling means anything. That's a story you have about it. It doesn't mean, you can't feel unworthy. You can have a feeling which you call unworthy. You understand? You can't feel, other people come to me, they say, I feel incomplete, I feel lacking, I feel like something's missing. No, you don't. You don't feel incomplete. You have a feeling which you say is incomplete. You have a feeling which you say means something is missing. No, unless you're missing a hand factually, where is something missing? Locate it. Can you find unworthiness? Can you find something missing? In this moment, let's just stop and look for it. If you feel you're unworthy or something like that, or feel there's something missing, show me the feeling and where it says unworthy. Show me where something is lacking. How would you know? What is lacking? You say, well, I just feel that way. Stop. Come back to the facts. You have a feeling, but does the feeling say lacking? Does the feeling say unworthy? How do you know the feeling means that? Come back to the physical sensation itself. If you have a bruise, does it mean something, or is it just a bruise? If you have a feeling on your finger, does it mean you're unworthy or missing something, or is it just a feeling? There's no such thing as a physical sensation meaning something. You understand? No feeling means anything. Show me unworthiness, and then I'll believe you that your feeling means something. But if you can't show it to me, if you can't touch it, if you can't hold it, if you can't feel it, if you can't show it to me, then it doesn't exist. You have a sensation. Come back to the sensation. Separate your story about the sensation from the sensation itself. Okay? So you say, I feel unworthy. Find the physical sensation, like tension in my chest, pressure in my stomach, pressure in my head. Find the sensation and then tell me how you know it means I feel unworthy. How do you know it means I feel lacking? The feeling isn't unworthiness. The feeling isn't lacking. The feeling is pressure or tension or whatever. That's the feeling itself, right? Describing the feeling is those types of things. Right? But unworthiness and lack is a story you tell about the feeling. Okay? So, basically, the only reason you have the feeling which you call unworthiness is because you tell a story, I am unworthy. When you tell yourself I am unworthy, you'll have a feeling which you call unworthiness. But then you think the feeling signifies that your thought is true. You say, I feel unworthy, so I must be unworthy. But that's not true. The reason you feel this feeling is because you believe a story about how you're unworthy. I'll give you an example because it's hard to understand it the way I just put it. So, if you are working in a job, okay? You have a job, and then you tell yourself, I'm going to get fired tomorrow. I just know it. You're going to start feeling anxious and afraid. And then you tell yourself, this feeling must mean I'm going to get fired tomorrow. This feeling must signify I'm going to get fired. I know it. This feeling is proof that I'm going to get fired. The feeling isn't proof of anything other than that you're believing a story that you're going to get fired. The feeling doesn't mean you're going to get fired. You're just believing a story, and that creates the feeling. So the feeling doesn't mean you're unworthy. It means you're believing a story that says I'm unworthy. And when you don't tell the story, when you're distracted from it, watching a movie or eating something you like or whatever, when you're distracted from your story, where's the feeling of unworthiness? If you really felt unworthy, if that's really who you are, then you would always have that feeling, regardless of whether there's a story or not. But that's not the case. Only when you tell a story, a feeling is created. The feeling doesn't mean the story is true. The feeling doesn't mean you're unworthy. It means you're believing a story. That's it. The same is true with lack and feeling incomplete. You aren't lacking and incomplete. When you're distracted from it, when you're dancing, when you're playing with your kids, when you're doing something you love, do you feel lacking and incomplete? No, of course not. Because you aren't lacking and incomplete. You couldn't be. What is lacking? Where is incomplete? Show me what you're missing factually. You're missing nothing. It's just that when you tell a story about how you want your fantasy and how something isn't good enough, then it creates a feeling which you call lacking. And then you say, I must be something missing because I feel like something's missing. No, the reason you feel like there's something missing isn't because there's something missing. It's only because you believe a thought about how your fantasy would be so great and how this moment is insufficient. Okay? So that's why feelings don't mean anything. That's why your feelings don't signify anything. Because that's all a story and not part of reality. Come back to reality. Okay? So thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.